So what singing does is it can actually literally move those stories out of our bodies. Why? Because sound is a physical thing, okay? Sound is a physical thing. When I make a note, so what I'm doing is I'm taking air into my lungs. As the air passes through the vocal cords, they sit right behind the trachea right here. There are these two little thin strips of cartilage, and they're literally opening and closing 440 times a second to make an A tone, okay? So what they're doing, it's magic. What those vocal cords are doing is they're taking air and they're turning it into a literal physical vibration called sound. Those lower, slower vibrations are the low notes. Ah. The mid-range notes are a little bit faster. The high notes are fast and short. Okay? So if you understand anything about the universe, you know that the entire universe is vibration, right? Everything that we know of and think of as solid and real, if you get right down to it, it's vibrating at a particular rate or frequency. So what we're doing when we're singing is we are literally aligning, not theoretically, but literally physically aligning ourselves with the vibration of the universe. And I know that's kind of a new age sounding thing, but there's deep science behind it. I could talk for the next 2 hours. I'm not going to, believe me. I could talk for the next 2 hours about how modern science is now starting to understand the power of sound. The ancient yogis, the ancient rishis knew it. They came up with all kinds of systems of sound. They came up with an entire yoga system called Nada Yoga, which is the yoga of sound and vibration. But what happens when we tap into our own natural vibration through sound is we amplify the release of old tension and stress. We amplify our awareness and our awakeness. We literally come into this state of harmony with our own vibrational being. Then what happens when we do that with others, which we're going to do today, what actually happens is we have a physical and real experience of oneness. Because that very small part of our brain that tells us we're separate from each other and everything literally can be measurably seen to go to sleep when we sing, drum, dance, and chant together. So when we go into what's called resonance together, sympathetic resonance, i.e. the vibrations of our beings and the vibrations of our sound and every vibration that we create, when we go into this vibrational state, what happens is our vibrations match up with everyone else's through the sound, through the drumming, through the movement, through the breath. Our brain waves begin to go into a state of resonance together, and then we have that experience of oneness. So not only are we hardwired for self-expression. Okay? One more time. Take a breath. That's it. Gorgeous, beautiful. Can you start to hear? We're getting louder, we're getting more comfortable. It's nice. Okay, one more resonating chamber. It's in the top of the head. This one's going to make you, actually, before we do this, I forgot this. How many of you have an inner critic? Me too. For the next hour and a half, 2 hours, I would like to invite you to ask your inner critic to take a vacation. We can put all our inner critics outside the door. Okay, so let's do that on a breath. Take a big breath. Thank you, inner critic. You saved me from so much embarrassment, but I'm going to let you out today. Goodbye. And now I want you to invite your 5-year-old, your inner 5-year-old, okay? When I was 5, they called me Susu. I don't know what they called you, but you can invoke him or her with that childhood name. So we're about to do something that's kind of like what a 5-year-old would do. We're going to go like this. Make a siren sound. It sounds like this. begin to make the connection between your practice and the sound. So remembering that the sound brings us to a subtler and deeper relationship with our energetic body. Practice brings us into a state of purification so that we can really listen to that subtle body. So opening your ears right now. Opening your ears and beginning to just simply breathe into the low belly, low back, expand into the floor. Release the back of your neck and open your jaw. So open your mouth, open your jaw, up. Thanks. Great. Now on the next exhale, make a sound. As we practice today, your only instruction besides the practice is to make any sound that you want to make. This may be the only time you get to do this, so take full advantage of that fact. Okay? So any sound that you want to make, I don't care if you just go, "Ah!" Although your neighbor might care. Make a sound. Let your body release what it needs to release as we practice. Now take your knees in your hands. So let your hands begin to manipulate your legs. You can go in one direction. You can go in opposite directions. Just releasing the hip flexors and really letting go of that sacrum, the lower back. Good. Breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And notice what came up for you, if anything, as I called you a leader or a change maker or a singer. Did that inner critic come back in the room? And if so, can you let it go? Can you simply know that your voice is completely and totally unique? There's no one that has your unique voice, your unique instrument of grace. And the more you embody it, the more you can offer to the world. This is a time for us to find our voice. And the only way we make change is if we stand up for what we believe in. So what do you stand for? What are you devoted to? What can you give voice to in your own life and for all life? One more breath. Good. Walk or jump your feet to your hands. Inhale, look up. Lengthen through the spine. Nice. Good. Arms reach. Let's hold here for a moment. Lengthen through that back leg. Lift up out of the hips. Belly reaches up into the ribs. And we're going to open our heart. So arms reach back. And then we're going to inhale here, reaching forward. Exhale, open it up to the sky. Ha. Inhale, reach it forward. Exhale, open it out. Ha. Find your balance through lifting of the core abdominals. Last one. Ha. Good. Hands come down. Bring that left knee to the floor. Hold here for a moment. Curl the toes of the back foot. And just hold here for a moment. Breathe. Lengthen through the spine. Lengthen through the top of the head. Good. Now curl the toes of the back foot. Lengthen through that back leg. Lift the knee. Beautiful. Good. Left hand to the floor. Right arm.